So young people spend more time on screens than ever before. We know that. It sparked some major questions about development, school rules, our collective psychology. One of the breakthroughs, though, in thoughtful, positive programming for kids on the TV screen may seem downright quaint these days. But when it started in '69, it was a radical idea that has become this global sensation that managed to mix pretty quality education, universal values of kindness and diversity, with something that actually was so watchable it became beloved. Every so often I'll reach for a lyric around here, and here's one that's relevant. Quote, "We in the streets like Sesame." Tonight, we are turning to the lessons and inspirations of Sesame Street.
Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
We are joined now by Ron Howard, the legendary director, filmmaker, and producer. He's got a new project out, Jim Henson Idea Man, which tracks, as you see there, Kermit, the Muppets, Sesame Street, and a whole lot more. Thanks for being here.
Pleasure. Fun.
Yeah, it's great. You tell Jim Henson's story. We learned that some of what he was making was not necessarily only going to be designed for kids.
Right. Well, most of it.
Most of it.
In the beginning.
Although, boy, did kids love it.
Yeah, well, what's interesting is he wasn't interested in puppets. He was a young, creative guy in Mississippi, then moved closer to Washington. But he loved television. And he just wanted to find a way to get on television. We have these hilarious interviews that Orson Welles did, of all people. And out of it, you learn that he'd never even played with puppets as a kid. But that was a way in to the local television station. He took it, created his own puppets, and he was a very introverted guy. And I think he became an extrovert when he got one of these puppets on his hand. And he was funny. He was funny. He was satirical, but really accessible. And he just grew his talent, with puppetry. But he was also very experimental and always trying to push the boundaries of what movies could be as well. Yeah,
I watched the doc last night, and one thing that comes through is that this is a person who's really soulful, and it comes through as very soft and playful and creative. Yes. In ways that the modern world, where you have this word, people are creatives.
Right.
And yet a lot of it is capitalist-driven, it's imitation. I want to just take a look at how Sesame Street, as it grew, it was so embraced, and you had icons from all aspects of life joining.
Elmo and his friends are here with someone very, very special. Spending the day with the First Lady, Mrs. Michelle Obama.
Hi, everyone.
Are you ready, Bert?
Oh, I am prepared to wail, Ray.
Right on. What about you, Ernie?
Oh, anytime, Ray.
Hello, I'm Adam. Wow, that is a lot of noise you're making there, buddy.
Yeah, I got it. You're Johnny Flash.
Johnny Cash.
Hi.
Hi.
Wanna play tag?
Sure. You're it.
Oh, I'ma keep my head up high. Keep on reaching high.
Wonderful. The question is, what does it mean to kids to see their fantasy puppet world intersect with the real world?
Right.
And in a world that is run by adults, you know how it is. These governments, it's all adults, Ron.
Yeah,
and some of them are even on the older side, although we love everybody. But what does it mean to have material, culture, that is actually produced and shared for kids, so kids might have a little piece of it as they grow up?
Well, I think it means so much, and of course, when Sesame Street came along, it was revolutionary because there were some terrific shows, and Captain Kangaroo and Romper Room and things like that were aimed at kids and trying to sort of inspire them to play and be thoughtful and those kinds of things, but they were super gentle. They skewed very young. And when they got Jim Henson involved with Sesame Street, here was somebody who wanted to be funny. He wanted to be entertaining. He wanted to use his puppets in that way and didn't necessarily think of himself as an educator, but he had a great heart. But he had been in the commercial business for 15 years. And he used a lot of the sensibilities of selling ideas, which he had learned to do, didn't particularly love doing it, but he knew it was effective through humor, through the puppets, through fantasy, that you could teach learning ideas. You could sell learning to kids. And that was, sort of his pitch. What I didn't realize is not only did he bring the puppets, but he directed so many of those, those great short films, The Counting and The Letters and all that stuff, that it's all using his experimental cinematic style that he was trying to make for his own avant-garde movies. And yet, again, it was all in the effort to try to, in a smart, entertaining way, reach kids. But I think it did one other thing, and I can speak for my own household. When I would walk by and one of my kids was watching Sesame Street, when one of those cool, you'd hear the beat, you'd hear the cool music, you'd see the cutting style, you'd sit down, you'd smile, and suddenly I, as a parent, would sit down and watch Sesame Street with my kids. So I think it pulled families together.
Well, I think the project reminds everyone of that, and everybody knows you can go to Disney films and they have multiple layers.
Right.
But the Muppets that I'm about to take a look at really take you to the fact that we enjoy it as adults, but we also tap into our inner child, which is still part of us.
Yeah.
And so I want to, for your response, let's take a look at the Muppet Show.
We would go to ABC or CBS or whatever to try and get them interested. And invariably, what would happen was they'd say either, well, no, they're puppets, kid stuff, no.
My dad was very confident that the Muppet Show was going to be great. But the effort he had to go to convince the industry was almost superhuman.
Why is it important for you to show that path, the early resistance?
Well, it was important to show the resistance that he faced throughout. Now, he didn't necessarily, he would get frustrated by things, but he just kept working. His attitude was work around, find workarounds, just keep going, put your head down. He tried so many times with the Muppets. He just believed a half-hour variety show with the Muppets would work. Well, he was proven to be right, 100 times over. But it's not surprising that, that he struggled, because he was an outlier, and he was thinking, along those lines. And buyers are often very, very cautious, and they're a little more looking to imitate success. And there was no template for what Jim was pitching, but he proved it.
And that's part of why it was so dope.
Exactly.
There was no template, and it brought something. Now, I'm going to move you on to your own movies.
Right.
I know you want to talk about the latest film, but a lot of people know you from all these other cool films, and it's your first time on the beat, so let's take a look.
Thank you.
This jubilation could change my entire outlook on life.
Really?
No.
I'm saying that when the president does it, that means it's not illegal.
I don't believe in luck. But I do believe in assigning value to things.
Do you still have as much fun making movies now as the old days? The industry's under a lot of pressure. We were just talking about that in the break.
Well, it's hard. It's challenging. Brian Grazer and I at Imagine, are finding it exciting, because there are sort of more ways to get interesting projects done. And yet, the challenge of sort of getting something greenlit is probably, more extreme than it's ever been. We're having a great run with Imagine. We have a lot of great people that we're working with. But there have been so many times. It took years to get Friday Night Lights made. Liar, Liar. There's a movie that you would think would be a kind of a no-brainer.
Is that a Trump film?
That was no, okay. That took 12 years to get made. And so
it's taking America. It might take America 12 years.
Well,
wow, the hits just keep coming. I'm not going to be casting.
I'm hoping that Trump turns into a musical, not a dark drama.
I'm not going to be casting any of your comedies, but that's okay. I have a news day job. You mentioned Brian Grazer.
Yeah.
You're here on the Summit series, where we talk to people at the summit of their fields. Oh. So if somebody's watching, why are the Muppets on the news? It's partly because, I keep it real, and be honest. Probably because we wanted to talk to you.
Well, thank you.
And they said, you want to talk to him, you got to talk about the Muppets. And I said, okay, that's a deal we could do.
Muppets are very worthy.
But with 2 minutes left before we go to Joy Reid, I did want to play your colleague, who you just name-checked, Brian, was also on this Summit series. You guys have done these amazing films together. And so here's some of what you haven't seen this, right?
No, I have not.
All right, here's what he said about you.
He's so gifted as an artist at creating multiple, three-dimensional characters, so that because he himself it inflates people, makes them feel better about themselves. I think we're the longest partnership in Hollywood history, actually. It's been it's like 40 years.
Do you think about it that way, that you're not just doing your work, which has some talent or technical aspect, but he says you're inflating, almost belarging people?
You know, I'm just fascinated by people. And it's what fascinated me about Jim Henson and his journey, along with his wife, Jane, and his family, and all of his collaborators. So I look at every story. It can be action, it can be comedy, it can be fantasy, but I'm always most fascinated by what's the journey and what's going to be relatable. And back to Jim Henson, I think the reason he's so well remembered is satire, comedy. He's showing a mirror to us and making us realize just how silly we can be sometimes. I mean, he's using those characters. But I think Brian's right, by the way. I think we are the longest partnership in Hollywood. And
that's pretty cool.
It's still going strong.
Final question is the shortest.
Right.
Are you more Kermit or more Miss Piggy?
Oh, no, I'm Kermit. I'm Kermit.
Kermit all the way.
Yeah. Jim Henson, you know, that was his alter ego. I relate to that. Kermit was, you know, pretty nice guy trying to make sense of a bunch of crazies around him. I feel like I fall into that category.
And don't we love Kermit because we see him going through it sometimes?
Yeah, and getting frustrated and losing it.
Yeah.
He doesn't always say the nicest thing, but his heart's in the right place, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, me too.
I love it. I hope you come back. Ron Howard here on our Summit series. The film, Jim Henson, Idea Man, is out. Now streaming, where else? On Disney+.